Repeat confidence is high. ¿Cómo están, bitches?
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Talking Busch. Back after a couple of weeks on the road. Dave Pike is here, bringing you into another week of everything Busch League fantasy football and Minnesota sports takes. As always, we got the full cast and crew tonight, the original core four. Let's start a little east of the river. Derek Hartman. Derek, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Fresh off a great weekend, and weather outside isn't so good. So just trying to bring some sunshine.
Love it. Look at that. Happiest I've seen you in weeks. Over there in Painesville, Minnesota. Down in the Painesville, Minnesota studios. Johnny Thompson. John, how the fuck you doing tonight?
Not so bad, and you?
Oh, pretty good.
Derek must have got a blowy earlier. There's no reason he should be smiling like that.
Never seen a smile like this before. Ever.
Had to have. There's only one reason a man smiles like that.
And all the way in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Matty Train. Matty, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, Dave. Vikings suck. My fantasy team sucks, but Twins are in the playoffs, so that's good.
Yes, they are. I think we'll be getting to them pretty go through a couple weekend highlights. The last couple weeks, I quit a bowling team. They came to me and hands and knees begging, Dave, we got new people starting in October. We need you to just bowl a couple of weeks. Said, okay, we're going to fold without you. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So went out there. I have started the season with a 184 average.
Good for you!
Playing some pretty good bowling right now.
NBD.
No big deal. We're on a good strike ball, picking up a lot of spares with my spare ball, ready to go.
Big earn, man. You're just big earn. Big earn McCracken.
So what is the difference between your strike ball and your spare ball?
Weight, right?
So my spare ball, no, both balls are 16 pounds.
Oh, go on.
No big deal.
Good for you!
And are they smooth, or what are we talking here?
My spare ball is more of a resin, and there's not a weight inside, so it's very true. Where my strike ball has a little bit of weight to one side, so when I throw the curve, it gives it a little extra kick.
Are you picking up what's been on?
So is that these guys that roll the big hooks on TV? Do those guys are those all off-centered weight?
Yep.
They are.
And so like from beginner balls, the weight is really big, so you barely have to turn it, and it will get your hook. Or if you roll it straight, it will roll back across no matter what. You see that with a lot of females in the league with their own ball. They roll a straight ball, but they have the weight in it, so it will get a little bit of angle.
Look at Derek shaking his head like he's fucking Roy Munson. Like he knows what the fuck's going on.
It's pretty interesting stuff. But started out the year pretty good.
I saw my grandma throw a curve with a bowling alley like generic ball when she was like 75 years old. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah,
that's because
no
your
risk
grandma.
Nothing, just
It's because your grandma was a working gal for a living. She's got strong hands. Was she a dairy farmer by chance?
You watch your mouth there, John Thompson.
Was she a dairy farmer by chance? Just asking for a friend.
Wasn't. She did hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'll do it. You ever sit there and squeeze the scissors a couple 13, 14 times? She's probably a saint.
But that's all right.
She's probably a saint. Is that Grandma Train or
Trickle? My mother said.
Gotcha.
Trickle?
I would take her on a nice seafood dinner and never call her again. No? Okay, that wasn't funny. Let's just. We're on a roll already. We're on a roll. 2 minutes in. Just on fire.
Derek,
Yes.
you did a little bit of traveling this weekend.
I did.
Give us your 2-minute recap of New Orleans, Louisiana.
I can go way quicker than that. It's
That's
really
what she said.
shitty.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Do you want to bring Lisa on screen to talk about this, or you?
What's so shitty about it? Do you go to Better Than Your Mama's Fried Chicken?
I did not.
There's your problem.
I did have my first po' boy. That was
Yeah.
As a whole, New Orleans is dirty and stinky.
Yeah.
Just gross.
Oh, you on the thick?
Cowboy fans were in town, and they were out to support. And Saints fans were fighting them back. Made Bourbon Street interesting.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. As a whole, I thought New Orleans would be more, I guess, like Nashville, and it just wasn't.
Ew,
No.
Not at all the same.
No. It's
but it is what it is, and people still love it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Would you compare Nashville to, say, Philadelphia?
Nashville?
Or, I'm sorry, New Orleans.
No. I mean, they're different.
As far as cleanliness.
Smell.
Yeah. As far as cleanliness.
Philly also smells, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think New Orleans may be the worst smelling city I've ever been in, and I've been in Paris. Like, it smells terrible there.
Interesting. Well, they don't shave their armpits, so.
Missed my connection in Atlanta by 1 minute going down. Last flight of the night, they didn't hold the plane.
That's true.
Yeah, we had to fly way out of the way due to a storm, and then last flight of the night, and they couldn't rebook us till 2:00 the next day. So we drove starting at 1:30, got down there at about 7 in the morning.
I like it.
Did you stay up the whole day? Take a nap.
Took about a 2-hour nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had to reboot a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a hurricane?
Just one. Sweet, really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are overrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you lay your head down in Lisa's lap while she drove? Just asking for a friend. It's code of the road, Derek.
No, that didn't happen. Neither did the reverse.
Well, that just sounds like a terrible
we know
drive.
that wasn't gonna happen.
Did you have a beignet?
I did. They actually were excellent.
They are very good.
Po' boys and beignets. Those are the two things that I enjoyed.
Sure. Any beer? What'd you have? What was
Parrish is about 2 hours outside of New Orleans. They make an IPA called Ghost in the Machine that is very highly regarded in the craft beer community. We happened to go on a release day for Double Dry Hopped Ghost, and it was incredible.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful.
Well, you said Dave said 2 minutes. You said I can go faster than that, and we went 4. So
we had some questions. All right, let's shoot it over to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What happens over there on the weekends? Kind of shit you get yourself into, Maddie?
Not too much over here. Pretty uneventful. Mowed the lawn, cleaned up the garage, that sort of shit.
Cool. Sounds great.
Yeah, well.
All right, kick it over to John in Painesville. Any highlights from the weekend?
Yeah, we had a little game night over at the number one listener of the Busch League podcast house. And he's going to be tuning in with a funny story from that night. It's kind of comical regarding the podcast, and he just texted me about it. So Matt, you might
cool story, Hansel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Olaf.
You know what, Derek? Why don't you go sit on a sandpaper dildo and rotate? I hope that you get chlamydia of the eyeballs.
Wow. Okay. That sounds great. Well, is this the same listener that potentially has won the contest to come with us down to Iowa?
Yeah, so that's actually what it's kind of about. I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
But
we'll
it's
so
yeah.
Am I supposed to be looking for something? Do you say?
Yeah, he's because he types in the thing.
Yeah.
Remember
I got the chat open.
Yeah. He's gonna type in the chat and let you know what the story is. So
All right.
Wonderful.
I'll let you read it.
All right.
All right, myself, I was up at the hunting land getting all the deer stands ready. For those of you who don't believe that I spend the time out in the woods and think that I just pick the deer out of the catalog and then shoot it when they tie it up, that wasn't the case. But looks like we're going to have another pretty good year. And one of the Picus 5 that will be out hunting will be getting a pretty nice deer. So, should
Dave,
be great.
I believe you, but I think John Picus shoots the deer. I don't think you do. I've actually seen the deer.
I sit in a very heated box stand.
Yeah.
That I can turn a heater on if I want, or you know.
Well, because I've seen the deer in the back of John's truck, so I know it does happen. But I think you're just up there watching Gopher PJ Fleck highlights up in your deer stand.
No phones in the deer stand.
False.
Used to be
liar.
Back in the day, it used to be class pictures. I remember.
It was ranking. A lot of rankings going on in the class.
That's how Dave kept me awake from what, Dave? It was like Illinois all the way to Ohio. Yeah. He basically kept asking me to rank certain things. And we did for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just kept ranking and ranking and ranking. We had some pretty solid lists.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah.
John and Dave on that trip. But it's Sunday. I had the opportunity to watch the Vikings game with our number one Vikings reporter here on the podcast, John Thompson. I was going over for the entertainment value because I didn't think we were going to play very well, and he did not disappoint with not saying a word for about a quarter and a half, even though I'd ask questions and he'd just ignore me and yelling at his dog.
Yeah. Harper was there, though. That was fun. She was entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I did. John's beautiful wife broke my heart by telling me that her lovely sister got engaged. Thought I had an opportunity there, but we'll move on from that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the future brother-in-law.
Right.
I mean, things can happen. Things can happen. So
some bitch plants his beans 16 inches apart, though. What a pussy.
Yeah. That's Busch League. That's Busch League right there.
All right, but we were watching the Vikings. A lot of hot takes out of this. We're going to start with Kirk Cousins. Jesus Christ. That's all I got to say. You guys can take it from there.
In my opinion, that sucked.
I think Twitter and just social media has we all watched the game. We know how bad it was. But then when to actually see still shots of Diggs just putting corners on skates, Rudolph running open across the middle, Thielen running open, Dave pointed out Kirk rolling out to the right, people being open, and he just fires a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for a 2-yard gain to C.J. Ham in the middle of the field across his body. He's lucky that didn't get picked off. It's just frustrating, and I think we talked about it last week where there's just something going on between his ears that I don't know if it's correctable. I wish we had Christian Ponder's soundbite for that. These things are correctable.
Things easily correctable.
Easily, thank you. Because we did, I don't wish injury on anybody, but they did what they need to do. They got Trubisky out of there because he's kind of a threat. I mean, he does run around. He creates plays with his feet. You had the backup quarterback in who is not mobile. They don't, and Dave and I talked about this. All you had to do was stop. He's not going to run. So the RPO is basically just him faking the run, and he's not going to run. So he's either going to go to the running back or it was going to be a click slant. So, yeah. Kirk Cousins, man, I don't know. I'm not going to. Final thoughts for me. The Vikings had to do something. If we didn't sign him, they're idiots because they let Kirk Cousins walk away. We signed him. Now they're idiots because they paid $84 million for a guy who is a head case and can't perform in a big primetime game. So I think they were damned if they did, damned if they didn't. I just don't know what they're going to do going forward.
Some of the local media around here is hopping on this that they're hopping on Zimmer basically. That's
where I was going to go.
That he's trying to neuter the offense basically because all he wants to do is support his defense.
Yeah.
And watching that game, it seemed to me that Chicago used that against them because what did they do? They just ate up the clock like crazy. And these Zimmer defenses, they're kind of known for bend but don't break. Try and get a lead and then force pressure late in the game. Make some splash plays here and there, and at the end of the day, you look like a good defense, even if maybe people are running open from time to time. And it looked like the Bears just said, okay, we'll take that, and we're gonna stay on the field all damn day, and you're not gonna touch the ball. And it seems that they're taking this. It's almost like the opposite of the Randy ratio. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah.
It seems like almost the inverse of that is going on right now, where the mentality offensively is almost it's too one dimensional.
We went down that rabbit hole of Zimmer. I know Derek has pissed me off with this before because that's what Derek does. But at this point, Zimmer, he's kind of dug his heels in and he's set in his ways, and you can't be that way in the NFL. It's an evolving game. Things change. You got to change. Yeah, can you try to run the ball? Absolutely. It's part of the game. But at some point where, like Thielen said, can't run the ball, you can keep trying, but eventually you got to do something different. Like I told Dave when he was at my house, why don't they go no huddle? Why don't they call it at the line like the Bears are doing with Trubisky? It looks like Nagy talks in his helmet up until the 15 seconds left on the play clock. So why can't we do that with Kirk? Speed the tempo up, maybe try to get the Bears on their heels, but nope. Huddle up, run Dalvin into a wall of Bears defenders. That's not working, so I'm guessing that gets in Kirk's head that nothing's working. So then he stands there, he gets sacked, he fumbles the ball. You just got to do something to get the offense going, and Zimmer just seems to be too stuck in his ways to change that. Derek?
Is there any doubt after watching the last 3 Bears games that Zimmer has gotten majorly outcoached by a very young coach?
Yeah.
It's pathetic. Also, Zimmer, how about you calling timeout at the 2-minute warning there? Real smooth, buddy.
Yeah. This oatmeal stout was delicious, and Derek's microphone sucks.
I love it. Well, my final take on the Kirk stuff.
Yeah.
He just needs to, we were in that football game on paper the entire time. Our defense, other than those two drives to start the game on the scripted plays, our defense played very well.
Yeah.
And
good enough
it just
to win,
didn't.
sure.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like we were ever going to win that game from start to finish. Like we were playing from behind. We were going to need them to lose it. It wasn't going to be us winning it. So that sucks. Let's move on to our boy Stephon Diggs, who yesterday we're starting to see some trade rumors. The tweets that I'm seeing were Diggs to the Patriots. Then he doesn't go to practice today. Not on the injury list, not on the personal reason list. Are we losing this football team 4 weeks into the year?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't trade him unless the juice was worth the squeeze. I wouldn't trade him for less than. I guess I don't know what you would go for, but you need to get talent like a Trent Williams or a Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion. I wouldn't let him go for anything less than that.
I mean, are you selling on Diggs right now because you don't want him to be a cancer to our team?
No.
Because he was a diva in the offseason before they signed him.
Right.
Was that?
Well, we kind of knew that.
The year before.
Yeah. So I mean, is this just all coming back of, NFL players that get a little butthurt and can't take the adversity, just try to get out of where they're at?
It might be. And if that's the case, then you got to do what you got to do. I'll say this. I wouldn't be happy with the trade, but if they got a reasonable or good amount of equity back for it, it is what it is.
Would he be bitching if he was in New England?
That's what I read. I can't remember whose article it was, but I think it was Pro Football Talk. But that's why Belichick has the "do your job" mantra. It works. Shut up, go to work, do your job. If you don't do your job, look at how many veterans he's traded or cut, and not even because they didn't do their job. He just has. I give the man credit. He does not let his feelings get in the way of football decisions. That man would cut his mother if she wasn't performing at the level he wanted.
Oh yeah.
So
He's the only guy in the NFL that can pull it off, though, because he's the only guy that consistently wins.
true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what gives him that leverage. I think
True.
I think in this whole thing, there's an element of patience wearing thin, right? I mean, it's this. I think the mentality is going back to when we had Case and made a run to the NFC Championship game that this team should be competing for championships. On its face, in an isolated situation, on its face, a loss in Green Bay is not the end of the world for this team. A loss in Chicago is not the end of the world for this team. And on its face, Stephon Diggs being a diva reflects poorly on Stephon Diggs, but there's some sort of build-up here and some sort of diminishing level of patience with a lot of people within the organization for not getting the results that they think that they should be getting. And it's a culmination of a really long series of events that haven't gone the right way, you know. Not just this one thing, not just this one game, you know.
Thanks, Aristotle.
Jeez.
No, I agree. I agree that it's been a big build up. You know, he goes from two seasons ago being a dynamic player and seeing the ball and really being a production leader to last year getting double covered and shaded on that, you know, a lot more balls went to Adam Thielen. Now this year things are evening out and he's not seeing as many targets his way that I would be frustrated too if I was him. And when you're wide fucking open on film and quarterback doesn't throw it.
That there. I was just thinking now, given the Minnesota Vikings are not the New England Patriots, but are we getting too excited about this? Now, I'm going to take you back a couple years. Kansas City, Alex Smith, they roll into Foxborough and they roll the Patriots. That very next game, can't remember who it was, they lose again. They're 0-2. Tom Brady's finished. Patriots dynasty is dead. Then look what happened. I think they went on to the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Your problem is you don't have Tom Brady with that track record.
I get that.
What you have is a quarterback that has a track record of being very fragile in high leverage situations.
I get that, but are we jumping the gun a little bit?
I think the next 4 weeks will tell a lot.
Yeah.
Because
if they go 4-0, you feel good. If they go, 2-2 or worse, I mean, throw in the towel. It's over.
Because someone remind me, the year Sam Bradford started out, we were 1-0. He got hurt.
Yeah, we played the Saints. He looked all world.
Yeah, he looked awesome. He got hurt.
Came in against Pittsburgh.
And we got
that second week we lost.
And we got beat. So we were 1-1.
Yep.
And I think
we lost also to Carolina, I think.
And well, that was later in the year. But the first couple weeks, because we went 1-1, and then I think we won another one. But then Dalvin blew his knee out against Detroit.
Oh, you're right. And we lost that game because he fumbled on that play.
Yes. Yeah. So we were 2-2. And then they went into Chicago and won because Bradford got hurt again, and Keenum let them back on Monday night. And then after that, then they ran the table, because then I remember thinking the schedule was super tough, and they ended up beating Washington at Washington, Atlanta in Atlanta. There was a couple other ones they rattle off. Then they lost to Carolina. That's the one where Thielen was in. I think he was in. And they called it out before halftime. But anywho, so same scenario. That year, Sam Bradford was ungodly. They were 2-2. Went into Chicago, got 3-2, and then I think they had an early bye, And then, so I'm just saying, I know we're all frustrated. We just want this team to win. We might want to just pump the brakes a little bit. But, and Derek, I think you're right. Just the next 4 weeks, if they play 500 ball or worse, it's over. I think this thing gets blown up. Tank for Tua, tank for Trevor, whatever they decide they're going to do. So
I don't want 5 years of down football, though.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not a huge Vikings guy. I don't want us to be freaking 6-10 and that shit for.
It is going to waste a lot of talent, which is going to blow because there's a ton of talent on this team.
And your defense is getting older. Everson, Linval, I mean, they're going to slow down. Harrison Smith is not going to be Harrison Smith forever.
True.
Xavier probably doesn't have, 4 years left.
I think he's almost on the back end of
2
his
years
career, the way he's been playing.
Yeah. So, I mean, they'd have a whole lot of other issues. And then do you trust Spielman and Zimmer on a rebuild? Because I don't.
No.
No.
But I think it's going to be a couple seasons of horseshit football, and then both of them are gone, and we start from straight scratch. And I don't know if I love that.
8.5 wins. You guys take the over or under on that?
Ooh.
Under. I think we win 8, maybe 7.
Concur.
I might take the over, but only by
Of course
1.
you will.
Yeah, I'm the Zimmer fluffer. You're the Fleck fluffer.
I know.
We've had 2 tough losses in the division on the road. We piss pounded 2 teams.
Yep.
So they're gonna win their home games. The way they're playing at home, they're unstoppable at home.
They're not going to beat Chicago at home.
But then the Buffalo Bills are gonna roll in and totally curb stomp us out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All
right.
So.
All right, I had 2 other quick hitters on the Vikings, and we'll move on to a more happier note. Adam Thielen going off after the game, but then in the most Minnesotan thing ever, retracts and backsteps everything that he said the next day and said it was the heat of the moment deal.
Passive aggressive.
Love that.
Kumbaya,
Did you know that he's from Minnesota? Second or last thing here. I actually thought the offensive line played really good on Sunday. That defense is very good. And I thought Kirk had sufficient time to throw the football. I know he's a mental case, so we got to give him 45 seconds to look downfield and check down to every single receiver. But I thought the offensive line played well enough to probably win that game.
I thought they played worse in the run game than I expected. Honestly, I thought we'd be able to run the ball, especially with Hakeem Hicks, whatever.
Hicks, yeah.
Yeah, their D tackle out. They couldn't.
And Roquan Smith was out.
That's true too. They couldn't run the ball, but I thought the pass protection was adequate. Reef whiffed once, and it was a turnover. But other than that, I thought it was adequate, and Kirk made some pressure when it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, he would not pull the trigger. He just wouldn't.
Not
it
pull
was
the
so
trigger,
stupid.
and then he rolls into pressure so often it makes no sense. And
this is on the interwebs, Dave. We can curse here.
Okay.
Quick last fact.
Son of a bitch.
Kirk Cousins has had the most time of any quarterback in the NFL to throw the ball this year.
Really?
The most time. Yep.
There you go.
It's I like to call it the Mark Peterson syndrome. Him and Sam Ponder's husband, each same thing, too smart for their own good. They can't think fast enough to throw the ball to the right person.
Yeah.
But you know who can throw the ball to the right people? Tanner fucking Morgan. Your Gophers 4-0. We don't got to talk too much about them, but the air raid offense is in. We're running RPOs like we were the fucking Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
We got a lot of winners on this team. Winners win 4-0. Going to be 5-0 this weekend. We're done. All right, let's talk about the Twins.
Wait. Who do they take on this weekend?
Illinois.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Illinois
I
in
asked.
the rain.
Hey,
We're going to be okay.
And before we move on from NCAA, I've also got number one super fan in Paynesville, Trav Flanagan, on the other chat. So apparently the story is that in order to pave the way for him to make his way on our trip to Iowa, he convinced his wife that our podcast was covering the bill as a part of, I don't know if a promotion or what, but
Straight cash, homie.
that's how he paved the way with his wife to be able to make the trip to Iowa. His trip sponsored by Talking Bush.
Yeah, yeah.
Like John Thompson
I was standing right in the kitchen when he did it, and she's like, and I'm might be misquoting this just a bit, but it was pretty much to the effect of, "Oh Jesus Christ!" Like she just could not believe that he was gonna be gone again, because he's currently on his way to an elk hunting trip in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gone this weekend. But yeah, then when he told her he's like, "Honey, Talking Bush, I'm their number one fan. They're paying for me to go down there." And she's like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
I
So
take it
good.
they have separate bank accounts.
Yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, he's in. He's in.
Awesome.
So
Drew in Duluth, welcoming the commissioner back as well.
I Drew in Duluth. Drew in Duluth was trying to get into the trade works this week. We can talk about that later. He's trying hard.
Hey, Drew in Duluth, will you tell us if you're going to Iowa or not? Like, we've been asking for a couple weeks now. We're trying to really button this thing up. Ask Katie. Bring Katie. I don't give a rat's ass. Just figure it out.
Also, the domination over Drew and Duluth continues.
Oh, we're not quite there yet, Derek. Just bring it back. Put your pants back on, Slappy.
All right, the other boys in town are going to start the Bomba season in New York on Friday.
Squad.
Donktober.
The
Donktober
hoodies are sweet.
They are sweet.
Dirty. So, love that. New year, new you, New York. We're coming.
The concrete jungle, man.
I think that, about 4 Twins have said it. We aren't the Twins of the years past. We're playing this year, and we are a different baseball team than the last few times that we've been there. So I'm excited. Should be kind of fun. Tickets on the secondary market for Monday in the upper deck are like $100 even, which is kind of crazy to me. But I'm sure we'll pack it up and.
Yeah. Question for y'all.
Yeah.
So I was having a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Brad Skoglund, diehard Minnesota Golden Gopher fan. Might be in Iowa City.
Okay.
Paynesville high school baseball coach. Been coaching the team about 20-some years. He's in the Minnesota Baseball Hall of Fame. He's got a couple of state championships under his belt. We talked about Game 3. He seems to think possibly Smeltzer or Dobnik starting, and then moving into a bullpen game. So 3 innings, 2 inning, whatever each guy can do. Do you guys agree with that for Game 3?
I actually think they're going to go Barrios to start, and I think they're going to throw Dobnak in Game 2.
Oh, well, sure. So either 3 or 2, yeah.
And then Game 3 be Odorizzi, and Game 4 might be a true bullpen game where it's 1 inning at a time, or maybe not even an inning at a time.
Probably an opener.
Yeah. So I think that's my kind of gut feeling with how they lined it up at the end of the year. Is Dobnak's going to throw Game 2, and Odorizzi's actually going to throw Game 3 at home.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what do you think it would be, a Dobnik Smeltzer or Dobnik?
They're going to go Dobnik,
Gibby?
try to ride him as long as it goes.
Oh, sure.
And then bring in your big boys.
Yeah.
I think they really, the last few starts he had were legit.
They were good.
And so I think they have confidence in him to actually just go out and maybe even throw 5 innings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that he's married, he can probably have the sex.
Oh yeah.
More often,
that might ruin it though.
He's ready.
No, sometimes guys
he's
perform
be loose
better
as a goose.
Yeah, but maybe he had some built-up testosterone.
Deion Sanders said before every game he had to have sex twice before he even went to the Georgia Dome. Swear to God. I heard him say it on the TV. I think you got you can't trust Gibby. Gibby can only
No.
get 2 innings in, and then he melts. He's worse than
might-
Scott Baker.
Yeah, he might be your game 4 starter, but it'll only be an inning, maybe
Yeah.
maybe 2. It's
Yeah.
not to go through the lineup.
No.
But I mean, he came out of the bullpen last weekend, and
He was throwing gas.
I liked it. I wouldn't mind keeping him there for the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
And just make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were at his last start. Jen and I were, and first and second inning, he was fine. It's like once the third inning starts, it is just awful. It's like his arm just turns to jelly. He has no control.
He's the opposite of Brad Radke.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Brad
what I was
Gregg
gonna
used
say.
to get it out of the way in the first inning.
Yep.
Or Moonshot Scott. Moonshot Scott was pretty bad too.
All right. Train, you got any takes on the Twins before I got one more before we slide into a little game?
No, not too much. I mean, I'm excited for it, and I'm not worried about the team. I'm worried that we're playing a good team that can get the piss out of the ball. That's my big in New York where
It's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah. They were crazy good in New York this year. Crazy good.
Yep.
And we weren't that good at home.
No.
We were better on the road. We were one of the best road teams in baseball. But
well, there you go. We're gonna go in.
This team ain't scared though. That's the best part.
They do have some swagger, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Really, really excited. And I love playoff baseball. You play 162 games one way, you get into the playoffs, and you're talking about bullpen games, and it's just I think it's great. So I'm super excited.
I think this series is going to be a lot like that early August series that we had against the Red Sox at home, where every pitch was like, holy shit.
You held your breath.
Yeah.
You go over this game.
That's playoff baseball. But
that's right. It's the intensity is really high.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to watch the game, boys?
Well, that's coming up on the next thing. Guess who caved? Comcast, baby.
Amy. Damn it, Amy.
They decided after everybody went absolutely apeshit bananas on them via social media, and the local news also went bananas. They are giving out free. You can watch it on any package they have on Comcast in the Metro. So that's great.
Can I have your password?
I need somebody's password.
And then really the other big thing is Homer Hankies this year are not going to be white.
Red.
I'm hearing gray.
Oh, what?
Yes. So, I'm
That's terrible.
A little
That's a
upset
horrible
with that.
idea.
Glad they're back. Bad execution.
Yeah. I dislike that.
Red would be fine.
Yeah.
I thought red would be good.
I thought white would be great at home.
Yeah.
Sano's hitting bombs, and then everybody's just doing like it's snowing.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
Sure. But the Bomba Squad shirts are red. I mean, red would have been perfect.
I will be in the Bridgewater Bank has allowed us to wear any Twins gear that we want, so I'll be in a Bomba Squad T-shirt on Friday.
Nice.
You guys want to play a game?
Yes.
Do you want to play a game?
Yes.
Take it away, Maddie.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have a game prepared.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What were we gonna play? I thought we all agreed to it last night. What the hell, man?
I was looking for ideas, and then you're like, "Yeah, I like games," and then things didn't happen.
Yeah, we were just saying, yeah.
I am working on some more advanced statistics stuff, so hopefully something will come of that.
Yeah, because you were gonna do a Twins game, right?
Okay, well then, Matt, why don't you hop into Week 4 of the Busch League and just take us from there?
Okay, I can do that.
Not that anybody cares, but.
Okay, starting off the week, Soup du Jour gets in the win column 99.6 to 95.4 over yours truly. I scored 95 points and did not have a single touchdown on my entire roster. Unbelievable. I dropped to 1-3, Soup up to 1-3, and uphill battle for both of those teams as we see a clear divide between top and bottom of this league right now. Hartman improves to 4-0, the only undefeated team that we have left, 112.6. Doubling up Big Hoss, who came in at 64.1. blew his
And
lead
not
a
a
little
good
bit
week.
last
Dave.
week.
Not a good week.
Oh,
And,
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Can we stop you on that one?
Yeah.
We were sitting there. I put my fucking phone away
Yeah.
because Adam was having a terrible week.
Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting in my
And
living room.
I was projected to beat him.
Yeah.
And I was projected to beat him. And I was like, Kamara's going to have a great game. Dallas' defense is okay, but they get him in the short pass route that he's going to just crush him. And he fucking sucked. And
You
then
would have
same with Dak.
Dak, Kamara, and Juju left.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Felt really good.
Yeah, really tough.
Yeah, because when we were sitting in my living room, we looked
Tom
at
Brady
the
would have been
scoreboard.
playing and just been awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But
Hartman has Godwin. Tampa Bay goes off for 55 against
Fuck that, by the way.
Rams. Yeah.
Fuck that. It's fun.
That's MVP Hartman's team right there. It's the guy that's
Yeah.
keeping him afloat.
Yep.
Moving on, easy as a Baisai wins 104.3 to 72 over Just Druitt.
Bravo.
Drew with a similar letdown week after a huge week last week. Derek with another kind of subpar week, but the matchup works. So
I still can't pick the right wide receiver. Thank God Galladay is on bye this week. I just can't do it.
choice.
You should just drop
You'd
him.
be better to just pick out of a hat.
I would. I even asked John, who gets it wrong every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you put Mike Evans in after I told you to start him, and you did it anyway.
I put Evans into the flex. He did fine. Evans was fine. It was Galladay
Yep.
that I left on the bench that was great, and both Lockett and OBJ sucked.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
want
that's
to
okay
get
for
rid
you.
of OBJ? I'll trade you a case of Hop Avenger, New Belgium.
Drew was putting out.
That's terrible.
Quarterback and a wide receiver from me this week for anybody on his bench. And I go, Drew, your
On his
bench
bench.
players are terrible.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Give me somebody off your bench.
I'll do it for David Johnson.
Yeah, let's keep it clean on the air. here,
OBJ
boys.
for
Keep it clean on the air. Take that offline.
Okay.
Drew actually came at me with a respectable trade, but Dave and I had already done business, so that kind of mopped that up. Anyway, continue.
Peppy Kids keep on rolling. Number one in our power rankings at 138.8, upsetting the nice performance out of the Dillon Panthers at 125.6. Jeff with the nice game, despite the fact that Saquon Barkley is hurt. Gallman came up big for him, and his projected points this coming week look really bad. So maybe a downhill slide for him until he can get Barkley back. But
I'm hoping so.
Kind of
That
the
man.
same old for the Peppy Kids.
Matt, have you talked to Jeff at all?
I talked to him not this week. Last week I was texting him.
Oh God.
That son of a bitch is relentless right now.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Matt, we might want to go do a wellness check because he put 125 up and lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Bad
jeez.
beat.
I can attest that he's alive
Oh, okay.
because I've had 6 straight offers from him in the last 2 days,
I had 3.
and
Or
none of
2.
them are good.
No, they're awful.
I just had one.
He offers the. I don't mean to put his shit in the street, but perfect example. Okay, Saquon Barkley will be back, right?
Yeah.
So
He's trying to deal Gallman.
So he wants to trade me like Le'Veon Bell, who's for sure gonna start until he gets hurt, for Wayne Gallman. It's like you realize once Barkley's back, Gallman is worthless. And
That's terrible.
yeah, it's like, come on, man. Do you think? I mean, I'm stupid, but I'm not fucking absolutely stupid.
It's interesting. He's trying, and I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, he can
So-
just keep throwing shit at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Yep. I mean, he did though take over the top spot for worst trade offers from Adam Hartman
Oh yeah, hands down.
this week.
Hands down.
So
and it seems like maybe people are trying to replicate Hartman due to some of the success he's had, and
Yeah.
so just hey, you never know. Let's just try it.
I did notice though, Adam this year has approached me at least once, and it wasn't that bad. He's gotten better. I think fatherhood has changed him.
Mm.
he approached me this week with trying to sweet
Was it
talk me
garbage?
into.
Was it garbage?
Oh, Dave, your lineup is so
Oh,
good. You know,
yeah.
what can we maybe slide in there to get?
He slid into your DMs.
Yeah.
He's coddling the balls the whole time.
Yep. He's doing the old Adam Hartman tricks. But that being said, you know,
What else do we got?
In
Or what other is that? I feel like there's another game we haven't touched on.
Yep. So in less exciting action, Team Aponte shows up with a 91.8, but it's good enough to beat pre-snap adjustment, who comes in at 84.5. Christian McCaffrey leading the way for Team Aponte, and and Team Aponte continues, I think, a year-over-year streak of just being like extremely volatile. He's a guy that is the leading scorer one week and the lowest scorer the next week, and he does it almost consistently.
but
I'll tell you what the fucking deal is. It's Christian McCaffrey versus John motherfucking Thompson. That guy pounds me harder than Peter North in an adult video.
Wow.
I mean,
that was way up here, and
I just don't get it. Like anytime I face Max and he's got McCaffrey in the lineup, it's bad.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
For next week, can you get me the stats on Max Aponte week 4? And I guarantee that son of a bitch over his time in this league is like $1 billion and 0 in week 4. Because he plays shitty 3 weeks, and then bam, week 4, he gets a win, and then that's like the catalyst for the rest of his season.
Yeah, could be. I can look it up.
Get that for next week.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you.
Our last matchup, the Dolls pull off their second straight win, 101.8 to 86.2 over the Heartbreak Kid. Leonard Fournette went freaking wild in this game. And Sean McCoy with a nice game, also for Grieve, and he improves to 2-2 on the year. Heartbreak Kid down to 1-3.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
Grieve making a run at the playoffs.
You know what? He's in the mix.
Kai, get him out of that Mankato division and just coming into his own.
He's still last in our power rankings, but
No, he's not.
oh, it is.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
no,
right.
no.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I know who's last.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. How do we do overall points scored this week?
Way down. Way down. It was 1,170, I think, compared to about 1,350 the previous week.
Yeah.
So across the league, under 100 points per game, and it was a strange week. A lot of duds from high-profile players, and a lot of nobody scoring touchdowns. So
The NFL as a whole was down scoring this week, and it showed in our league, no question.
True.
Great story, Derek.
All right,
Week 5. All right. Well, we can talk about the pick'em still leading the pack. You guys can just pick who I pick every week, and then
I picked Adam. You didn't, and it seemed to work out nicely for me.
oh yeah, good for you. 5 games back or some shit like that.
I'm not. I'm actually only
Oh,
like.
P.S. Let me just tell you another really good story about Sunday.
Oh, God.
When John. So obviously the Vikings are not playing very well. John's fantasy team is not doing very well at that time when I was at his house. He looks like a sad puppy. And he just, that's why he didn't want to talk. I'm like, oh, how's the fantasy team doing? I don't know. Oh. God, what do you think we should maybe run some no huddle here? I don't know. Come on, Kirk, do better. Yeah. I got to step outside for a minute with the dog.
Oh,
It's like-
now you're just churching it up.
Please
That
do
was-
not punt the dog.
That did not happen. Now you're just.
You left for a while.
You know, you can tell you spent a lot of time in a deer hunting camp because your fucking stories grow as big as redwoods each time you tell it.
I would believe that would be like a fisherman, but same.
Well, whatever, a fish
All right.
house or a deer camp, one of the two.
Let's hop into week 5. First game I got this week is the 4-0 Heart Attack taking on the 1 in a million Soups de Joueurs. Right now, Soups a favorite, 8.7. According to ESPN, I'm going after, not Matt's adjusted sheet. I am going to take the Heart Attack here. Soup's just been very inconsistent this year, and I don't think it's popping up anytime soon. So I'm going Heart Attack.
I'm going Trev. Harmon always loses to Trevor because he can't stand to beat him. So
It's true. It's the Friendship Bowl.
It is the Friendship Bowl.
It is the Friendship Bowl.
Thanks
All right,
for
Derek.
confirming what I said.
Derek, what bowl is it?
It's the Friendship Bowl.
Oh, okay.
I got Adam. He's got some good matchups this week. I like Tom Brady against Washington. I think the Vikings are going to break back out of their slump here and put up some points on offense. So I'll take Adam.
Nice, Johnny.
I'm going to take Adam as well. You just don't bet against the evil empire. And actually, I think the last couple of times Adam has not lost to Trevor. I think he kind of took offense that we would even consider him letting his best friend beat him.
He is working it back
True.
towards even. Trevor leads the series 18-14 all
Yep.
time and 7-5 in the 12-team era.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Adam on this one.
I'll probably share a Coke this weekend.
Yeah, no, Adam's definitely going down to watch the games with Trevor, or up, I should say, for sure.
All right, in the second matchup, we got this nice little hot Spanish team, Ese a la Bese, as a big-time
Wrong.
favorite. 12.4-point favorites against the Dylan trending downward Panthers. I'm going with the Chiros, Ese a la Bese.
I'm going to go with Derek also. Jeff's team is going to have to limp along here until he gets Saquon back. I'll take Derek.
12.4.
This is a big, hairy American winning machine.
I feel good. I don't like Jeff's team is good if it's healthy. It's not. There's no way Gallman's gonna run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Vikings defense like he did last week. I'm gonna take Jeff to the woodshed this week, kick his ass by about 30.
Ooh.
Yeah, you tell him with that nursing degree, Derek. You show him.
I am a real doctor.
Jeff just over and over uses that. It's the only thing he's got. So
I have letters behind my name. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That was hilarious. I'm going to go with Derek as long as he doesn't fuck this up and picks the right wide receivers to play in this game.
We're good.
Okay.
The white wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm going to go with easy as a bizneasy.
Easy as A B C.
Easy
Wrong.
as a busy. You can't even do it. Can't even do it.
Daddy was a no-talent pussy, but at least he listened.
All right, in the next matchup, we have a reoccurring guest on the show. He is 1-3 on the year. He should change his name back to the Dumpster Fire. Drew versus a up-and-coming Team Aponte, who is a 5.2-point favorite. I'm going Team Aponte. Like I just told Matt, I think that stat is just ridiculous. That Max after week 3 is super hot. So I'm going Team Aponte. Train?
Yeah. You just can't screw around with McCaffrey right now. He's a world beater. Best back in the league, and I think that's going to be enough to beat Drew.
Better than a woman beater.
Indeed.
Derek.
Drew does have the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL right now. Keenan Allen has been ridiculous all year long.
Not
That
tradable,
said-
by the way. He's not on the bench.
Not available.
Yep.
How about Julio? Is he available?
Also not available.
Then I'm sorry, Drew. You have nothing worth trading. Melvin Gordon is back. That said, he's starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I mean, that's a big hole for him. I go Max this week.
Juanito.
Yeah, might as well just go with the Puerto Rican assassin because he likes to assassinate me with his Christian McCaffrey painted penis every time we play. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Puerto Rican assassin.
All right. Next matchup, we have the Big Hoss, who is favored against the HBK Langer Banger. I got to go myself on this one. Golf's going to win big on Saturday. Pike's going to win big on Sunday. Let's go. Matt, Derek, John?
Yeah, Dave, I got to pick something different than you from remembering to catch up, but you've got some firepower there that I think bounces back this week. I like Kamara.
How about this unprecedented? I'm running a 3 running back set now instead of 2 tight ends or 3 wide receivers. So finally figuring this league out, probably going to dominate.
Yeah. Well, it's a copycat league, Dave.
As far as the pick 'em, I mean Lang doesn't even have a guy to put in the flex.
Yes.
I mean he's going to have to pick somebody up. I guess I'll take Dave. Can you guys by the way, can you guys weigh in on your trade?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to hear the logic of both sides.
It's very, very, very train-like, very socialist.
Mm-hmm.
Spread the wealth to John.
Yeah.
The people.
I didn't go with Dave last week, which hurt my heart.
You didn't go with me. That's why I called you so I could come watch the game with you. I felt like.
Yeah. But I'm gonna make my heart feel better, and I'm gonna pick Dave this week.
Boom. Over his best friend, the Langerbanger. Wow.
Yeah. We're gonna get him on here. I've sent the bat signal out. He has agreed. We just got to get a date. So one of these times we're gonna have to figure out how to get 5 screens on here, unless someone doesn't want to show up. So.
Wonderful. All right, in the maybe the biggest underdog we've seen in a while, the Night Train Rain, 18.8 point underdog against the Peppy Kids, and I see this one probably covering. Gonna go with Philly. He's so hot right now. Number 1 in the power rankings, number 1 in the hearts. Hell, number 1 contributor on the podcast.
Yeah.
Came prepared.
Yeah.
he just agrees.
Yeah. Probably.
I can't have my best players underachieving, which is what they're all exactly doing.
Value buys. All those value buys you bought.
Yeah.
And Devontae Adams is hurt. So.
Yeah. You lose. Well, then I lose. He's wide receiver 20 or something like that going into it, and now not playing doesn't do me very much good. So I'm gonna take Phil.
If you want to trade any of those underachieving wide receivers, I could use another one on my team.
You don't know who to pick out of more people?
Yeah. Maybe I'll do a 2-for-1 deal.
I've been working the angle of potentially dealing Adams, especially to a team that may have the record to withstand an injured player. So
send him over. Send him over.
John, you can't take
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the Peppy Kids in a landslide.
I will also take the Peppy Kids.
Love that. All right, in the final matchup of the week, we have the 0-4 John's team versus the 2-2 Breast Implants. John's favored.
What?
This one. 7.5.
Wrong.
That can't be right.
I was
for
surprised.
106 points. You must have some good matchups.
Up above the Mendoza line. So really excited for John this week. Breast Implants is coming in hot, but I don't think he can score 100. And I think, John, this is going to be the week that John scores 102. So I think that's going to do it. I'm going to 0-4 Johns. We're coming off the Schneid.
I'm taking grief. I think I'm going to shit the bed. I think it's no possibility that I win this. I just cannot get this thing right. I have not figured out the formula. So I'm going with the dolls. The dolls, Alyssa is going to, I think
Got
the
that new
Bachelor.
quarterback in.
Yeah, The
Who does
Bachelor.
that play?
I think here's the problem. I think The Bachelor or Bachelor in Paradise is on break right now, so she'll have time to, help him out, set his lineup, raise his kids, wipe his ass, all that stuff that she does for him. So I think I'm going with the dolls.
I mean, John got a huge boost in that trade. You have a quarterback now. That's kind of nice.
Mhm.
I guess that's in big part why you're projected to score more points than you have all season. Maybe double the amount of points you scored all season.
I think the first week I was projected for 104, but that was when who'd I have? Oh, that was Jared Goff when everybody, that whole thing because he's in the yeah, exactly.
I go John.
Wow, Maddie.
I'm gonna go Grieve to try and make up a game here.
God, you're such a grief fluffer.
Okay. Wow.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Good
Did you
Lord.
fire off enough?
Will you
Christ.
just get off him? Did you pick Jeff too? You did, didn't you?
Probably. Oh, just a Mankato
No, I
love.
didn't. I picked Derek.
God, do you guys make like a trinity and
I
when you guys are together?
I said I picked Derek.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Are you sure you were thinking that?
He's gonna go back and modify.
Thinking about the
Yeah.
freaking Eiffel Tower that he's gonna be running
Jeff is gonna go totally David Carradine himself because you picked Derek over him.
Yep.
He'll be all right.
I'm glad Derek and Dave got my reference on that one.
Oh, Christ. All right, well, should be a fun week 5. We got Gophers home against Illinois. Oh, one fun thing that we didn't talk about. The Gophers have finally woken up to tailgating. And however, how they did this was bad, I will say. But they opened up a lot on Friday night for the RVs that they can come for, I think it's a 4-hour window to get in there. They shut her down about 10 o'clock. You get to party all night. You got to be out by Sunday at noon. Everything opens back up. You can't start tailgating until I don't know, I think it was 8 in the morning or something like that. But finally, they step up. They listen to the fan advisory board and get it done. Negative from it, they fucking sold out this lot months ago to other people that don't own RVs. So you can't.
It's about 2/3 non-RVs and 1/3 RVs.
However, the RVs that come in are pretty sick, and there's
They're decked out.
There's a freaking Ice Castle Fish House that comes in, so
Sweet.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did we want to talk about the trade, or does nobody care? I know
care.
Derek was interested. Dave, you were kind of the brain. This was your brainchild. I just hit accept.
Well, we were kind of talking. John was in a low point on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
I thought about jumping off the roof, and I have a very low roof, so I would have survived, but I would have hurt.
No, wouldn't have probably been hurt.
Maybe the
Probably
concussion would have made you put some good players, in the lineup. Make some right decisions.
Yeah, that would help. That would help a lot. Anyway, continue.
So I was looking for a little bit of help at running back. I just wanted some more consistency out of that. John was looking for a wide receiver. I probably could have kept Sterling Shepard. I also wanted to steal an Iowa Hawkeye away from a Hawkeye, which
I already had a Hawkeye on the roster.
Feels so good. With Noah Fant. Jimmy G just loading up the quarterback carousel. Got 3 on the roster right now. Getting good. I liked what I saw out of Aaron Rodgers last week and didn't like what I saw out of Dak, so I was ready to get rid of one. I was getting pressure from all around the league on making a trade for either one of those guys, and figured that John would be a good candidate for it because I don't see him being competition later in the season.
No. Yeah, it's you and Phil figuring it out. I'm done. What does Pete Burchett say? Put me on ice. You've seen enough. I'm done.
It's true.
So, but I guess I'm just in upset mode now. So,
No other offers that were worth a damn for either of those quarterbacks?
No, they really weren't. Real frustrating.
Derek, like you
A lot
need
of guys.
one.
We were like,
I don't.
well,
Yeah.
I was pretty deep in negotiations with Grieve the prior week to get a quarterback out of there. But I put a really good trade offer out there to him. Pretty actually lopsided in his favor, and it was 11 o'clock in the morning last Thursday, maybe Wednesday, and I said you have till 1 p.m. and then this trade offer is negated. I forgot about it, went to lunch, did everything. It was like 1:45, nothing yet, and I was like, this guy's an idiot, and then pulled it back. So
Alyssa must have been busy.
Yep. Well, I think she was traveling based on her Instagram.
Yeah. True. She is busy.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's also easy as a busy.
That's
good there.
When that goes on the trophy at the end of the year,
it won't.
No, you'll screw it up.
God, I hope not. That'd be the worst.
Well, I mean, maybe in your head, you're gonna win that game because you had the right amount of points on the bench to make the best lineup to win.
Right. Yes.
But you will not win.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
It's math. You got it.
Math is hard.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, on the lines of that RV deal, I am the proud owner of a pop-up camper.
Tailgate one is really happening.
Nice.
One has been started. It won't see the light of day in the 2019 season, but 2020 it will be fully operational. And going to be working on it Thursday nights in Shakopee, Minnesota, if anybody's available.
Max Ponte might be available. Might bring you a nice bottle.
It's going to be a pretty fun deal. A lot of moving parts. I thought this was going to be a lot easier than when I originally drew this out 4 years ago. But it's going to be awesome and going to really test my carpenter capabilities.
Call the engineer.
Make sure all the gas lines are capped in that bitch.
There are 0 gas lines in that bitch right now.
Oh, good. Okay.
Ooh, with the wink. Nailed it.
Living the dream. Tampa Bay up 5-1 on Oakland right now, top of the 7th. Tampa Bay threatening runners on first and second, 2 outs. But I think that's
all the way through the Astros series.
Yep.
Hope they can beat them.
Yep.
And it's ours. It's ours for the taking.
Yep.
Okay. Well, boys, I hope that everybody has a great weekend. Good luck to all the fantasy owners. And look forward to seeing everybody next week. Let us know in the comment or on Slack if you guys like the guest appearances by everybody. It seems really positive what we've seen so far. So we're going to try to keep that going however we can. But can't wait to see everybody here next week.
Before we go, I've got a poll question from Trevor in Owatonna.
Yeah.
Which love is the strongest? ?
You want to try that again?
Which love is the strongest? ? John's love for Oktoberfest, Derek's love for Mahomes, Dave for the Gophers, or Matt for Grieve?
Ooh.
It's a great question.
Depends on the night of the week.
I would
like Friday night after Matt's had a couple of Cavassiers.
Yeah.
He likes to get balls deep in that Grieve. But I mean, Saturdays at 3, I'm pretty hard for the Gophers. So.
I would like to propose a 5th option, which would be, well, this is Adam's preference, which is Trevor balls deep in Adam. No, I mean,
no, yeah.
I mean that should be an option. I mean, that's Adam's fantasy from last time I heard. No? Okay. All right. You know what? Let's just end this. This is not funny anymore.
So good. Well, congratulations again to Travis in Painesville, number 1 listener.
For winning the trip.
The trip down to Iowa. Can't wait to spend some time in the car with you on the way down there. Should be great.
Should be fun. Which, if you haven't responded, just get on Slack and say yay or nay. We pretty much know you're not going, but just confirm it because we don't need any last minute shit happening. I mean, it's fine if it does, but we'd like to knock that out sooner rather than later. So.
Well, we're a month and a week away, so
Yeah.
Kind of got to dial this in pretty tight.
Yeah. Yep. So if you haven't responded, just say no. It's not going to hurt our feelings. Unless you're Dave Pikus, then it really hurts our feelings when you ditch us for other people.
Sex.
Yeah. Anywho.
Bye.
So, yeah, I'm out.
All right.
Bye.
You know, they brew 10,000 bottles of beer a day. I drink 45 off the assembly line, and I'm the asshole.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's terrible.